Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 21 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Bryan, and Reaves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. I'm here every week. With me, as always, my co-host, Reaves, who's also here every single week. Say what's up.
What's up, babies? I'm here every week.
Before you introduce your third mic, I want you to know that I got word that a middle schooler who is a child of a fan of the podcast recently said that they do not like the intro of the song. And they had quite the critique of Jeff's rapping. I'm not going to say it here, but maybe they just weren't a fan of the music. But they say the podcast is funny, and particularly third mic Bryan they like the most.
Oh my gosh, Bryan.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
And now, Bryan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'd love to. I have two...
Hold on, Reaves. Can you introduce Bryan first?
That's not what you
Sure.
said. You said, Bryan, introduce yourself. So I guess you were wrong. That's fine.
Let's check in and see if my co-host is here. Say hello to the people, Bri.
Hello. What I was going to say was, who do you know that's a middle schooler as a child?
Jamal hangs out at middle schools and makes friends. What's the big deal?
I'm trying to get anyone to listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And who has more time?
You're doing like school
Flyers.
Yeah.
I'm handing out flyers. I'm slapping the flyers. I'm like, hey, you heard this podcast? Seen this podcast? You like cooking? You like food?
Jamal ran for class president in a middle school as a third-party candidate,
I
just
don't
so
wanna
he
get
could
into it.
promote the podcast.
I don't want to get into that. That was so embarrassing because I thought it was actually like a physical fitness thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about it.
You thought
You
it
were
was
like-
a presidential physical fitness test.
Yeah. So I tried really hard on those tests, and I said, well, I beat everyone, so that means I'm the class president, right? And they're like, that's not what this was.
You did beat everyone, though, right?
Oh, I did.
You smoked
I
them.
actually do have, well, at the time, I don't think it's there anymore, but I did do the most pull-ups for like a fifth grader in Algonquin Elementary. So,
Okay. What was the number?
my name was on the plaque. What was it? Are you
Yeah.
ready for this? You're not going to
Uh-huh.
believe it. Are you ready for this? 47.
47
Wow.
for
Yeah.
a fifth grader?
It was
Wow.
The
insane.
expectations were really
Yeah.
we're killing these kids.
Yeah.
We're really killing them early with that.
Yeah,
That's
it was
too much
insane.
like back and arm development for them. It's going to
Yeah.
hurt them.
Yeah.
And now I can do 7.
Hey, you're 40 away from where you used to be, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here are my thoughts. One, why do I care what a kid thinks about a song?
Okay.
Don't care. It's a good song. I'm all about it. Two,
Mm-hmm.
of course a kid loves me. Kids have great taste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Kids-
I've always thought that, Bryan, you appeal to a very specific generation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gen A.
I mean, who
Gen
who
A.
doesn't?
Gen A.
Gen A.
Oh,
Gen
Gen
A.
A. Gen Alpha. Of course.
A.
I
don't-
mean,
I'm sorry. Can you say it the way I just want to make sure you have it right? Because it's your audience, right?
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Gen A.
That's it. Yes. Good.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Um,
More so than the Lieutenant Dan generation. Not really into me.
Yeah.
understand.
Definitely not Bubba here.
Don't understand. No. Yeah. Always nice to meet a fan. Little kids
Well,
love
you,
me. I'm
you didn't
jolly.
meet them. You did
I'm
not
jolly. I sort of did. People who listen to the podcast know me.
meet them.
I
Okay.
give them the inside. They get the real scoop. This is the
This
real me.
child's mom is also a fan of you.
Well-
She'll send me a text be like, Bryan cracks my shit up, and I hate
Okay.
receiving those texts because they're supposed to go to Reaves, but she
It's
doesn't
hard.
have Reaves' number.
Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah.
To receive. I constantly. A lot of it is like, I agree with Bryan on insert anything Bryan said in the podcast that
Yeah.
Jamal and I did not agree with him on, which happens a lot.
I'm a
Yeah.
man of the people. That's
You
the
are?
thing. I'm
You are.
every man. I've been called. I had a boss call me salt of the earth once. That really happened.
In a performance review?
Yeah.
Did he
I
call you
can't give
salt
you a
of the
raise.
earth?
Salt
Yeah.
of the earth.
Did he what?
Did he call you salt of the earth before he was like, but we're having a winter storm coming up in this company?
Yeah, and then he threw me out on the streets so that people wouldn't slip.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bryan might be salt of the earth, but I am still looking for the next greatest third mic host for this podcast. And as such, we have a guest today, and I'm going to introduce the guest right now. Our guest is beyond excited to be making their debut at UCB Herald Night in LA. Seriously, he checked with leading scientists on the matter, and they found his excited levels to be dangerously off the charts. He previously performed at UCB on mess hall team called Roxbury and was a member of the IO Herald team Dual Citizen when he lived in Chicago. In his non-improv time, he has co-written 2 different books and was a headline contributor to Clickhole and is currently working on his first solo satirical novel, The Job Survival Handbook. Please welcome to the podcast fellow funny person, Matt Visconage.
Thank you for having me. You reading that also made me realize I do kind of need to change my UCB bio a little bit, but all of that for the most part is true. Yes.
Yes, this is my research team, ChatGPT. I said, can you find me an intro for our guest for our new
Perfect.
third mic? And ChatGPT came up with that, and I just read it word for word.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
thank
I'm
you for
very
being here.
excited. My brother has been on this before. He speaks highly of the. You've never. He's sort of an unknown. My brother.
What's his name again?
This is happening live. Reaves is just putting it together now.
Who is your brother?
Well, I call him Andrew, but I guess the rest of the world sort of refers to him as Charlie Visconage.
Who the fuck is
person.
Andrew Visconage?
That's what we in the family refer to him as. But
yeah,
that's his real name.
He's no. His real name is Charlie, and his middle name is Andrew. But
yeah, people who get into the family.
Different.
When I visited Charlie in Portugal, I called him Andrew the whole time.
Because you're in the family now.
Yeah, because that's how close I am. I was also anytime I'm within like reaching distance to Charlie, I have to call him Andrew because I feel I'm very close. In text messages, though, Charlie.
So, I mean, let's
get into it.
Address the elephant in the room, right?
Yep.
So, Matt, I don't have beef with you. I want you to know that this is like we're laying down our weapons. This is neutral territory here. I don't have problems with you. Andrew tried to ruin my life for a year when I was a writer on his live talk show.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about it. We've had encounters in this show, but I have no beef with you. So, clean slate. Respect is the first place I start with people. So
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm sure Jimmy Fallon also has a ton of bodies that have sort of been like left in the stray, but we still think that he's. Well, do we?
Everyone
I guess,
still loves him. No, people still love Jimmy
Fallon. Everybody
Fallon.
still loves how
it's completely,
hilarious.
Jimmy nothing
Fallon
bad to say about him.
Yeah. Love Fallon still. There's a lot of bodies. Charlie has a lot of bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the episodes that Charlie did on the episode? Andrew did on the episode?
I am gonna be honest with you. I sort of skimmed through them, and then he sort of like told me a little bit about it.
What he did some raunchy shit. He does a lot of sex stuff on here.
I could imagine that. Yeah. He pulls.
He pulls.
He leaves a lot of bodies.
He pulls.
He pulls. Yes.
Yep.
I mean, you've all seen him.
I've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I've heard him on this podcast.
Yeah.
Nearly got us all canceled.
He's not even American anymore. People love having sex. People don't live in America.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Portugal, sexy country.
Super
That's
sexy.
part of why he can say what he wants to now, is because he's not. He lives in Portugal, and you can just say pretty much anything.
He was saying so much shit when I was there. I was like, you can't say that. He was like, Jamal, we're not in America right now. It's like, oh, you're right.
The
It's
Me Too
very
movement hasn't
much
reached Portugal yet.
No, I also don't think it's referred to as that in Portugal.
It's
They speak
also
Portuguese.
me.
Yeah.
Me.
You don't have to keep trying it.
I'll figure it out. I'll get it done. I'll figure it out.
So I want to go back. Thank you for skimming the episodes with Charlie on it to listen to the podcast. I'll be quite honest, that's the best way to listen to this podcast, is kind of like skimming through. Like if you have like a 30-second skim, just as soon as we start or if Bryan starts on a bit, just hit that once or twice.
Unless you're a child.
Yeah. And it'll get you right to where you want to be. How's it going on UCB Herald in LA?
good. I'm on the team I'm on now is called Local Tycoon because the previous team gag we at the end of our first season got split up and put onto new teams. But it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like I mean, it's slightly stressful, I guess, just because of the way that it is. But it's fun. It's nice, and it's like I also co-host the cage match show, which almost always is the 10 o'clock show when we've done the 7 or 8:30. So I'm usually there
all night,
pretty late. Yeah, so I kind of look a little haggard by the end of it.
When
But
you,
I enjoy it.
So that's good. When you do the cage match show and you host it, do you come in with a bit sometimes and like the bit's like real sexual and like makes the audience uncomfortable, and then like the other hosts are trying to like rein you back in, like why did you do this to us?
No, I would say that I'm actually like I'm sort of like the exact opposite of Andrew. I bring none of that to
okay
to the table. Yeah, no, I think that improv and comedy in general should be completely sexless.
Finally
It
someone
should just
said
be a place of like no comedy should not have anything to do with desire. I think at any point.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm ready to speak on that. I think people in Europe probably will disagree, but I think we all should just, if we're not married, everybody should just sort of live alone forever.
I agree.
And are you married?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
So I'm on that solo path.
So I know you're funny. I know you're funny.
Yes. Yeah. Name one funny married person.
Hold on, let me flip through my book. Oh boy.
Exactly.
No.
But yeah, it's good. I think I'm trying
Tom Arnold.
to.
No, wait, divorced.
Yeah, divorced.
He and Roseanne got divorced.
He was funny, but so hilarious now that he's divorced.
Oh my god.
Tom Arnold, one of the funniest people.
Yeah.
Chris Rock's so funny now.
Yes.
He had
And
bigger.
dating
blacker.
doesn't count. It's just being married.
Yeah, it's just being married. A lot of his specials he was single before those specials, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
who you asking?
I'm asking anyone.
For sure. Yep.
And then for a while, we didn't see any specials.
What was he doing?
He was being married.
Taking out the garbage, doing the dishes.
The garbage.
Date night.
Planning vacation. Going to
a
recitals.
Vacation, just you and Bay. Always planning I mean, look, I'll admit it. I'm married. Always planning a vacation. Just nonstop. She's like, Bay, what's going on with the vacation? Let's talk about it.
And you're like, I'm planning it.
I'm trying to watch TV, sweetie. And well, we can do both. So we're on our phones while watching TV,
connecting,
sending each other Airbnbs back and forth. This is cute. Oh, this is cute. This is cute.
I could see us here.
Where do we end up? Nowhere.
We
don't go anywhere.
And now you have to use a verbo because then that way you can get the whole house instead of
guaranteed
just
to yourself.
the Airbnb. Because sometimes the kids want to go to sleep at a different time than you want to. It's just that's verbo for you.
Matt, any advice for anyone who's listening or on the podcast right now on how to get on a Herald team at UCB?
Let's first set it up for whoever might be listening or whoever might be on the podcast. How many times did you audition before you got onto Herald?
I had to audition
UCB?
about 5 or 6 times. I
Okay.
mean, I've done it. I've done improv in some form since 2005, so almost 19, going on 20 years, and I've been taking classes at UCB since 2009. So I guess my advice would be stick with it and also recognize that it sort of is like peaks and valleys. I mean, I guess my real advice is sort of like you kind of can't plan for it because you're basically asking me, how do I make it so that when there's 800 people auditioning, that one of you is going to be selected?
Well, yeah.
And it's sort of like just have a unique comedic voice and be perfect. It's just that simple, you know?
Bryan, how
Yeah.
many times have you auditioned?
6.
Okay, so you're right there. You're in
I'm
the
on
like
the cusp.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. Now, are you doing like your Reverend Han Gary characters?
If the I'm not gonna shoehorn a character into a scene.
Yeah, obviously.
But
That's bad improv.
but
Not
if
doing
a
it's
scene
bad
I feel
improv.
calls for a Southern Reverend who's white,
Who's black? Uh-huh.
then he will of course make an appearance. And
Okay, good.
as far as everyone's concerned,
He kills.
religion is everywhere. Jesus is everywhere. He's in everything. So
True.
Kind of can be in every scene. Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay. 6 times, 5 times got on. Stick with it. Just be perfect and have fun.
I don't think I'm gonna audition anymore.
Why
I
not?
think I'm not gonna stick with it.
Oh no,
Bryan, come-
And
okay.
Matt, get in here.
Matt.
Motivate,
Matt,
motivate.
Let's
Bryan.
close the door behind
Listen,
us and let's do this
It
intervention.
sounds like he's not
Bryan,
gonna stick with it.
Bryan,
Yeah.
you just heard Matt, who's on a UCB Herald team in LA, say you got to stick with it. So why would you do the opposite of the advice?
I don't know.
I haven't even
Yeah.
begun my auditions yet.
I
You're
hate
so
to
far
say
ahead
it
of me.
because it's like you both want to stick with it, and also it actually is really good to hear people aren't sticking with it, because then that's just one less person you have to worry about sticking with
That's
it.
what I tell my students when I teach them the Herald. They're like, what if I don't want to do the Herald after this? I say, if I heard that, I'd be so happy because that means that's one less person in auditions.
Don't.
Be like, what if you do good? That's you shouldn't want to do this.
Yeah.
And that will definitely also gain you a lot of friends in the community as well. If you're just constantly telling people, you're not good enough.
Get out of here. Matt, do you think it makes sense to be spending a lot of, if you want to make a Herald team, to be spending a lot of time at the theater, watching shows, shaking
Definitely.
hands,
Ugh.
shaking hands?
I don't know about the shaking hands. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
That's
But
California for you. You guys don't touch each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're such, we're these liberals always wearing our masks and we're not touching anybody.
Well, you're in your car.
Ew.
It's just you in your car,
Exactly.
whereas me in New York, me and all of New York are just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I zoom into every show. I do
Nice.
think it is good to watch it. I think it's honestly sometimes more in a weird way. It's more helpful to sort of watch a show that's not going great if you do.
Which is most of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
No comment. Yeah, well,
Mm.
I'm not going to answer, but I will laugh.
Bryan, Bryan, can you put
Please
a car
edit
horn
that.
over that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Just
want our
edit a
guests
big
getting in
beep
trouble.
as I'm
Yeah.
saying it.
Yeah.
I actually do want to do something before we talk about food. I was not here last week, and it was my favorite
episode.
co-host,
Great app.
my favorite co-host's birthday last week, and I just want to take the time, Bryan, if you could cue up the music, please. And Matt, feel free to join.
Okay.
Happy birthday,
A little late on that.
happy birthday, dear Reaves. Happy birthday to you. All right, you can turn it off.
That's from Sonic. It sounds like that sounds like the Sonic theme. Like Sonic
I don't know.
his
I don't know what you
birthday.
mean. So I just want to say happy birthday,
Maybe a
Reaves. Sorry I wasn't here to wish you one as the host of the podcast. And I also know this week today is Stephen Mann's birthday. So, if Bryan, if you could cue that up again.
Listener.
To you. To you. Happy birthday, Stephen Mann. Happy birthday to you. And you can cut it out now. All right, so that's for Stephen Mann, who I know listens to the podcast. I sent him a message this morning saying happy birthday. He has not responded.
Me too. Hey, man's got a lot of friends. He's got a lot going on in his
He's
I'm
busy.
Sure he's
Got so many happy
texts.
Yeah, he's got so many happy birthdays coming in. They just got lost in the sauce. That's all. Matt, do you like to cook?
Unfortunately, no.
Perfect.
How about
You're
this? How about this, Matt? You
What?
like to eat?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all
All
we
right.
need.
Yeah,
That's all we
that's
need
all
for
we
this
need.
show.
And
good
with
enough.
that, let's transition to a segment called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment we do every week where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night and present it as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. There will be a winner, but there will not be a vote because voting is dead. There's no candidates to vote for this year. Remember that. I'll go
No,
first.
when you go to the polls, if there are, first of all, why are you going to the polls?
Yeah, why are you
Second of
going
all,
to the
if
polls?
you still go there and you get a piece of paper and there are names on there, they're all fake.
Yep.
Yeah.
You write your own in.
Yeah.
Write your own
Grogu. Acolyte 2024.
Yeah.
You guys seen Acolyte yet?
No.
I mean, neither.
All right, chefs, I prepared
But
for
they're
you.
killing them. They're killing Jedis.
Yeah, that's sad.
Mm.
Unless you're like me and you're on the dark side. So now that I know that that's what's happening, I'm going to go watch. I watch all the Star Wars movies in reverse so I can see the Sith win. All right. Chefs, I prepared for you. Hot dog party. I had myself a good old-fashioned hot dog party.
Okay.
Hot dog party for one.
Hot dog party for one.
What
All the glizzies you can grip.
What'd you put on it? How'd you cook it?
We know
You
how he
know.
does it.
Yeah, you know how I did it. I'm cheese, if you
He
please.
wraps cheese around his hot dog.
Yeah, I'm a French boy.
Yeah, it's
This
French.
time I shaved. Well, that is fromage. Look, when I went to
Hot
France,
dog.
when I went to France and they served hot dogs, they all just had cheese on them.
The fuck you ordering hot dogs in France for, my friend?
Because I'm fine dining in Paris.
Mm-hmm. Off the
So
menu.
I had off menu. I had National Hebrew,
Mm.
and that wasn't me
And
trying
the-
to be.
oof.
That wasn't
Poor
me trying to
timing.
be political.
Poor timing.
It wasn't me trying to be political.
Poor timing.
Just happened. This was
yeah.
at Home Alone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously. I'm not gonna go parade it around.
I didn't know.
So yeah, I had National Hebrew.
Keep saying it.
With some
Spotify.
cross hatching and
Sounds like
That'll be
a
the
chapter to
chapter.
me.
some seasoning, some cayenne pepper.
On the
some,
hot dog?
some cayenne pepper. I like a
Really?
little spice. Also, I had the Martin's potato buns. Now, this is why I do the Martin's potato buns. I spread ghee, not butter, ghee, and then put them under the broiler. And my brothers, when they toasted up something fierce
Mm-hmm.
because you get that nice butter taste with none of the milk proteins. And then I shaved a block of sharp cheddar cheese and I roasted Brussels sprouts.
Ooh.
And I had myself a little hot dog party.
How
I
many
love
hot
it.
dogs you have? Stop me when I get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No.
Stop.
No.
You got
No.
6 hot dogs.
Freaking
Yeah, that's all that were in the
Kobayashi
pack.
over here.
That was all that was in the pack.
You ate
I
the
used-
whole pack?
I ate the whole pack.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
You should be.
I'm fine with it.
How did you feel the next day?
Felt great. My recovery was terrible, but I felt great.
Mm-hmm.
I was hungover.
Yeah.
All
Now,
the
the Brussels
politics and those
sprouts.
hot dogs. What?
Sorry. I was just interested. The Brussels sprouts, they were on the side or were they shaved to be in the bun with the hot dog?
No, they were on the side. They
Alright.
were roasted and tossed with diced garlic cloves. Any other questions about my?
I don't have any.
No.
Right.
Chefs. I feel like I hear something. Chefs, I prepared for you buttermilk fried chicken
Nice.
with side of mashed potatoes.
Any greens?
No.
Not
Not-
a single veggie on the plate.
Strong stand.
Not allowed.
Yeah,
No.
strong stand.
They will not dance together, those. But you put a little mash with your fried chicken. See you later, Matt. And they're
Let's get
singing.
something to drink.
Yeah, you got. Sometimes you leave the podcast. That's fine. Maybe he's coming back to show me some fried chicken he has. I don't know. Okay. Well, it's okay. Open the floor to questions.
What pieces did you have? What parts of the bird you eaten?
So
Yeah.
they were only chicken thighs.
You are a thigh guy.
I really like the chicken thighs, so
He
I
loves
didn't.
a thigh.
It's also I don't know. I can ask the audience here. This is it hard for people to deep fry or to fry chicken that's thighs and legs because they cook at different speeds.
I think you're supposed to do it in different batches, right?
Yeah, it's hard to manage. That's probably how you should do it, but
Yeah,
I don't do that.
You're supposed to do all the legs together and then all
Yeah.
the thighs together.
Doing a boneless when you toss it in there, or is this thigh got it?
No, you
there's
need that
gotta be a-
flavor.
Yeah. What are you
Come
doing?
on, Brian.
I'm not making a
You
sandwich
eat the
here.
bone, the flavor. Eat the bone.
The bones impart all the flavor in the chicken.
Mhm.
You get yourself a boneless chicken breast, and you get yourself a chicken breast with bone in. It's not even a competition.
Deep fry both.
Deep fry both.
Put both on a
Put them
sandwich.
suckers in your mouth.
Yeah.
Bite through the bone.
Bite all the way through both, and you tell me which one you enjoy.
You tell me
more.
which one tasted better.
When you get out of the hospital.
Well, yeah, I didn't put a time limit on when you could tell me. Just tell me when you're done.
Chefs, last night I procured for you chocolate milkshake dinner.
Okay,
so
say
many
no
questions.
more.
Yes.
Say no more.
No. Say more. Chocolate milkshake dinner? You just had a chocolate
dinner.
milkshake?
Yeah, so my lunch was a slice of pizza. And so I was like, well, I don't want to have anything for dinner. And my wife was like, you know what I want? Ice cream. And I said, sweetheart, you got it.
Oh, you took a vacation.
Yeah. She was like, can we at least go to the ice cream store? I was like, yes.
Vacation.
Got a little chocolate milkshake.
Book.
The soft kind. You know, the kind that got the
Thank goodness you didn't get the hard kind.
made
for
with the
milkshake.
soft. Yeah, I can't get through the straw.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Was there anything else in there outside of, milk and ice cream? Did
No.
you add anything? Anything?
No, just chocolate, milk, ice cream. Good times.
All right. Did you finish the whole thing? I'll go ahead.
Yeah, it's little. It was a small size.
You feel good afterwards?
Felt
Not
great.
hungry? Slept like a baby?
Slept like shit. For other reasons.
For different
But it felt
reasons.
okay. It felt okay. Yeah, if you what you can.
Now, why did you only have one slice of pizza for lunch?
It's big. It's
Okay.
square slice.
I thought this was another situation where you got in a fight with a bird.
Yeah. And they took their other slices.
Yeah.
No, I'm not allowed to eat pizza outside anymore.
Oh.
He's out there shaking his little
Yeah.
bird fist.
Yeah.
All right. Those are all my questions. Matt.
Chefs, I present to you. Yes.
Whoa.
Is that correct? I had Korean fried chicken, like the yang yum flavors, the chili flakes one, and then I had some kimchi fried rice also. I got basically what happened was on Saturday I got a tad high, and then I was like, I should
Okay.
buy $100 worth of food, which I did. But then I was like, I need to be smart, so I sort of portioned out the
food.
fried rice and the chicken. So this whole weekend, it's pretty much just been like great, because whenever I'm hungry, I can just go into the fridge and just sort of pick through this big box of the different fried chicken, but unfortunately, I've eaten all of it now, and I'm pretty sure that it wasn't super healthy for me. And I did just have a physical last week where I kind of got like roasted in
Did they
general.
walk more? Did they go for a walk?
Yeah, they were like, you
They
need to
say
walk
love
more.
saying that shit.
She told me my feet were very flat, which felt very rude.
Won't get drafted.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You don't
Yeah,
have to worry
that's
about
actually
any
good. You
wars.
can't get. Did you get
Yes.
that in writing, so you can't get drafted in this war that's coming?
No, but I think as long as the war doesn't happen until November 30th, then I'll be 35, and then I think they can't draft you anymore because
you're
I'm
safe.
old.
You're safe.
But it was really good. I have not prior to like 2 months ago, I had never had Korean fried chicken before, and honestly, now I kind of feel like they are the best at making it. I just watched a whole Netflix show that was all about like the way that they specifically make Korean fried chicken and just like how tasty it is. I do
Did
kind
it
of
go
wish it
into the
wasn't
history of
as
how they
expensive.
stole it from my people?
Yeah, there was a whole part where they were just sort of culture vultures, and did take it.
How did you feel about that?
Yeah.
How did me? I felt like it was an injustice.
Thank you.
And that was part of why I ate and ordered so much, was so that I could sort of stand against it, just to be like,
Thank you.
well, I really have to
Thank
me
you.
take away the stock that they have so that I can help.
Thank you.
And you did at first acknowledge that you were eating stolen chicken before you ate it?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to invite you to the next march we have.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Freaking fried chicken thieves. Get under my skin. They tell me to keep this skin on.
I don't want to have to make you say that whole thing again, Matt, but could you say it and then say Peacock instead of Netflix? Because we kind of have a thing.
Oh,
This is
okay.
a Top Chef, you know?
Yeah.
It's.
I ate all that fried chicken, and then I'd watched a show on Peacock TV.
Okay.
That was
Thank
all
you.
about Korean fried chicken, and I really liked it, and also just how easy the
You're doing too
Peacock
much now. You're
TV
doing too much.
format
You're doing-
is.
It's
You're
so
doing too-
easy, right?
Yeah.
It's a great app. It always works.
Reaves, that was such a great catch. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so you had Korean fried chicken, and it was the best fried chicken you ever had, and you had it all weekend. All right, do we want to go around and say who we think wins the food?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'll go first. I'm gonna vote for Matt and his code switching chicken.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm going to vote for Bryan
Thank you.
because not all meals have to be.
Whoa. Did you say vote?
Oh, So then we have to just ignore what I just did.
Yeah. We have to
Shit.
take that out.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's
shit.
the lead. Sorry, Bryan.
Fuck. All right. I will. I think I just love the idea of a hot dog party. I think we all love hot dog party, Bad Girls Club, hot dog party. Just the idea of the way
Yeah.
that Jamal eats the hot dogs. He put ghee on the buns. I
Uh-huh.
think
Mm.
this is peasant food we're talking about. People, hot
Yeah.
dogs.
There's also sauerkraut on them too.
And he
Ooh.
elevates it, sweetie. He elevates them.
Good for your tummy.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that Jamal wins.
Do we have that clip, that hot dog party clip?
That was like 30 years ago. No.
I should have sent that. I knew I forgot to send you something, and it was that clip. Thank you, Bryan.
Matt, who do you think wins?
Matt, who do you think wins? You can't say yourself.
Oh, I can't vote for myself.
You can't vote at all.
I think Andrew wins. I don't know what he ate, but I'm sure it was probably some sort of like paella, some sort of Portugal
started with a P.
type of food.
Yeah.
So I choose the.
Did you hear what Bryan said?
Paella, something with a P. Yes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Push
talking
your
about? You get it?
P.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Folks who are just
Now we're
listening
there.
can't see, but Matt gets it.
Matt gets it.
Mhm.
Reeves, do
He
you want
pulls.
to redo your selection?
So I feel like the one that I liked the most was Bryan. Big glass chocolate milk.
Uh-huh.
Very tasty. And your meal doesn't have to be traditional meals.
No.
And I think I like that. The untraditional meal. And the fact that he still felt good about it. He didn't regret his decisions.
No, tummy hurt a little bit. A lot of
Okay,
dairy.
well, now I changed my vote. Hot
But not
dog
enough to
party for
complain
me.
about it.
Wait,
Hot
vote?
dog
I mean,
Oh boy. All right, so I guess I'm the winner. Even though it kind of sounds like Andrew's the winner. He was eating paella all night. Goodbye, Wisconsin. We'll be
What's
right
that
back
thing
after
we see
this.
back in the day? Oh yeah, paella. You guys get that?
Goodbye, Wisconsin. Be right back after this.
Pawn Shop.
And we're back. This is Pod Chef, episode 2 something. This is Top Chef, season 21, episode 12. Goodbye, Wisconsin. Matt?
Can I tell you guys something? I have a friend who, when she's been on the podcast, friend of the podcast, Ashley, when she writes letters and emails, she says, hello, person's name.
Mhm.
and then comma after the person's name.
I don't know, but that's where it's supposed to go, after the person's name. And she was like, no, grammatically, it goes between the greeting and the name. And I was like, but in this, where we all live,
Earth.
you put it after the name.
Mm.
I think you can do both.
How do you feel about that?
Is it a second line? Hello, comma, name on a second
No.
line? Or it's
No,
all
first
in
name.
one line?
It's like where you'd put the, like, dear
Mhm.
John. Dear,
That's-
John.
That's why I just start saying hello or dear.
Yeah.
You gotta address who you're talking to.
To whom it may concern.
Attention.
That covers the base.
Attention, name.
Urgent.
I think you just put the person's name and then you put an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fun, too.
I do like sending a screaming letter.
I love a name and then dash.
Yeah, that's like authoritative.
That's business.
Yeah, it's a little businessy. It's a little
Okay, there's AI in here.
Yeah.
When you give it
Am
the
I
thumbs
doing
up, it comes. I
Wait,
think
what
it's
happened?
only for the
It's only
host.
for the
Yeah,
host.
I think it's only for the host.
what the hell?
Yeah, and it does that on YouTube too when you
Yeah.
stream.
Just that one?
I think you can put thumbs down too.
Hmm.
This is good content. Reeves, what's
Yes.
this episode about?
Well,
We're
do we want to
45
ask?
minutes.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Matt, what is your history with Top Chef?
I kind of watched. I did take somewhat extensive notes on this episode. I had
Okay.
watched a couple episodes where I think her name is Padma
Mm-hmm.
had hosted. I didn't realize that there was now a new host for it, so I guess I'm a little bit far behind. But I understand. I've seen enough past episodes that I understand the sort of like structure of it. It's
gist.
like the money and then the elimination.
Yeah,
And I
it's all
do-
about money.
hmm
Food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Food
very
and Wine
snooty,
magazine.
very snooty people too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're getting some insight to what you think of the judges. I like that.
Mhm.
That's
You're not
good.
too far behind. Kristen just replaced Padma this season. This is Kristen's first season.
Yeah.
So you're not too far behind.
Yeah.
Because she was on another show on
Mm-hmm.
a competing streamer that is not Peacock.
Yep.
That
Thank you.
was
She
like
cooked food Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, and it was like people from around the world doing it, and I don't know, I didn't love their vibe, but
Yeah.
I'm not deciding who the hosts are, so
Not yet.
but I should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If it were up to you, who would be the host?
Manny.
Mm.
So one of the contestants
Yes.
should be the host, I think. He just has star quality, I think.
Okay.
Well,
And we're gonna get
rockstar
into
quality.
that.
He was
We're
in a
gonna
band.
get into that.
so let's talk about it. So this
Yeah.
episode, Goodbye Wisconsin, they
Which
say
is a play on, of course, Drew Carey show.
yes.
Yeah.
No, that 70s show. Hello, Wisconsin, which I think is Kiss.
Hello,
so.
Wisconsin.
This is above my pay grade, brother. I don't know. I think it is a Kiss song, right?
Yeah.
All the little chicks. That's Drew Carey show.
That's Cleveland Rocks.
Yes, that's Drew Carey
Cleveland
show.
Rocks.
Cleveland Rocks.
The
So
show was good.
they say goodbye to Wisconsin in this episode. It's all about Wisconsin, right? This is a love letter to Wisconsin.
Yep.
All of the great things that we've learned about it. The cheese.
The cheese.
The cheese. Do you remember the cheese bowls?
Yes.
The curds?
All the curds that were out.
And that's also not being political. That's actual cheese curds.
Mm-hmm. Miller High Life.
Yes, champagne of beers.
Yes. And that's about it.
The beer of
that we got from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I guess cherries too.
And food that you can eat off a table.
Did they cranberries?
They
They did a meat raffle.
There was cranberries. People dancing and dropping it on Instagram with the cranberries.
Well, before we get into the episode, do you guys watch the Kristen's Dish Show afterwards? It is good. It's very nice. She's a great host. She's very relaxed. She brings her friends on.
Here's my thing. I'm afraid to start watching it. She has what?
Oh, what was that, Matt?
She has too many tattoos.
What is it about the tattoos do you not like? Is the numbers too many?
It's the numbers.
Well, what if she puts her hands in the food and then the tattoos get onto the food?
Okay. That's been my fear.
And now you're speaking my language. I do think about that a lot. Because what happens?
New fear unlocked for me. New fear unlocked.
If your arm gets wet when you have a tattoo, the tattoo will transfer to where it goes.
Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons why I don't swim.
And also, I didn't like. I also didn't like the Paul Blart Wisconsin guest judge guy. I didn't like.
Speak on
just
that.
as a general, because I didn't really know most of these people. I thought, number one, there's too many judges, and number two, I didn't like the attitude of some of these judges that were just like, and I was like, who the fuck are these people? Are we allowed to swear? Sorry.
Well, now I guess we are.
Who the beep are these?
There's a quota for Peacock, but keep it.
They just seemed a little yappy, especially the Paul Blart Wisconsin guy. And also, I just felt like a lot of the bald people on the show were very intense.
I
wish Jamal was here when you said that.
I know, and that we really, I think there's some making up for something that's missing. I think with Paul, he's a big man in Wisconsin. He'd been on an episode before. He was on episode 1, and he comes back, and so I think he kind of felt like he needed to swing his dick around because he was hot shit.
I don't know why he was doing that during the quickfire. It's unsanitary while they were doing the quickfire.
And they spent. I'll get into it when we get to the quick fire part.
Okay, so we open on the chefs getting ready in the morning, doing what everyone would be doing. Some people are praying. Some people are doing yoga. Some people are scraping their tongues with metal.
Taping a metal rod to their tongue.
Yeah, all the things you'd be doing. Manny talks about how being in the top 5 exceeds his expectations, which the audience feels the same way.
Yep.
What are you?
Couldn't agree more, Manny.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Can I read to you just from a blind thing of what I felt about each of the contestants as I was watching?
Love that.
Savannah, I wrote, she's a fan, not a chef. Dan, I wrote, seems fake. Manny, I wrote, winner, love him, 5K and hot fiance. Laura, crazy eyebrows.
Okay.
Danny, he fucked OCD king. Now, I do realize by the end of the episode, I was pretty far off from what actually happened.
Yeah.
Did
you go back and reread them?
No, I still hold on to my ratings. Okay. I think Manny was robbed.
Even though he did a bad job?
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing is they keep saying, oh, this fish wasn't cooked. And I just kept being like, prove it.
We didn't see it, did we?
That's a good point.
True.
We didn't see it. And I don't know who these judges are. They just kept being like, oh, it's not cooked. And I was sort of like, this is gaslighting.
Here's the thing, too, that I'll point out to you as someone who doesn't watch the show very often. A lot of the food they don't want cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you want?
Like
Like,
how do I
you
know
give me
which
this
ones,
beef
which
that's not
proteins
cooked, and
you
you're like,
want
this is
cooked?
what I want.
Yeah.
Last week they
Make up
talked
your
about
mind.
a beet that they didn't want cooked, and they liked
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Make up your mind. You want cooking or not cooking?
So
Give me straight shit. Also, we were told a few weeks ago that now every time we do quickfire, Tom and Gail are gonna be there. They're not fucking there when this episode starts.
yeah,
They
let's
don't show up for a while.
let's jump into it. So we get right into the quickfire when the contestants go to the Top Chef kitchen, and we're doing fan favorite, the taste test challenge. We love this.
Mm.
But to Brian's point, where's Gail? Where's Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Why were they not there? Why did they not care?
Another question. Where was the fucking blind taste test challenge? They fucking blew through this thing in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
The one thing we all wanted, we've been all sitting here all season long, like, oh
Waiting
God,
for
can't wait for the blind taste test challenge. Here it comes. Oh God, it's gonna happen. And they fucking split screen it
And do 5 people at a time.
and and blow through it. And they edit it like shit. And that Savannah gets the first 6 right. Turns out she's lost.
Yeah.
Never saw her
turns
get
out
one wrong
she's
the
bad.
entire time.
Those were the ones she got right only.
Yeah, and
The
what's up
fuck?
with that cast?
I don't know.
We do technically know.
Yeah.
She cut her hand.
Yeah. She cut her hand 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, I had to get a stitch.
Mm.
It was very yucky. We saw a lot of yucky things, people putting their fingers in their mouths, spitting stuff out, spitting things on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
Bacon
the
next.
yes. The running
So they
story
were
there.
spitting it on the floor then.
Mhm.
Okay. 'cause
And there
I
was
saw
no
that.
please also is what
Yeah.
I kept waiting for. Everybody just kept saying next this, and it was
Yeah.
like sort of, you
Yeah.
know, politeness doesn't go out of the window just
Yeah,
because
just because you
we're
can't
on
see.
this show, and just because and also I don't know what Zatar is, and that felt like it was a made up thing.
Mm.
It's
I'm
it's
sort of a
something that they put too
I'm a
much on.
truther with a lot of stuff, so a lot of this stuff I was like, if I don't know it, this
It's
is
not
made
real.
up. This is a psyop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it didn't seem fair that it wasn't real money. It was just like, hey, oh yeah, we put it on your card for you. It's like, no, I want the real dollar bills so I can spend them in Wisconsin.
Yeah. That's why I like traders so much. They show you those big gold coins they're going to win at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And they could take those, they could use that, put that right in a slot machine. But here,
Traders
it's
lost me. I got like 6 episodes in and I stopped watching.
are you out of your fucking
I've
mind?
heard someone told me that it is good,
Reaves.
but
Me. I was the one who
Reaves
said
told
that. It's amazing.
no,
Yeah.
someone else. I had a coworker who told me to keep watching it. She was
It was
like,
You
Reaves
have to
in
watch
disguise. Was
Australian.
Reaves in
You have to watch
disguise.
Australian traders. Apparently, is best. Oh, available on Peacock.
We're still going through
Thank
the
you.
challenge. We're still going through the challenge. We're in the Dirty 30 now. Oof.
Ooh,
What a
that's a
season.
rough one.
What a season.
That is a rough one. So the story here in the taste test challenge is
That
Danny,
was a segment called "What Else Is On," right, Brian? That was your segment.
It's
that you
called
used to
something.
do.
What's it called? It's called what? I forget
What
what it's
are we
called.
watching?
Yeah,
What
challenge
else are we
wrestling.
watching? Yeah, All right,
Wrestling
keep
and
going.
challenge. Movies.
Danny sucks at this.
Real bad.
Mm.
He sucks real hard, and
OCD.
Dan also sucks hard
OCD.
too. And he's
I
very
love the
confident.
confidence of Dan.
Yeah.
And Dan was having a real laugh the whole time.
Yeah, he was.
I did not like Dan, quite frankly, and
Well-
not because there was the like cane that he hit. I have no issues with that. I just
Yeah.
want to be clear.
Thank
but-
you for
Okay, yeah,
clarifying.
thank you.
Good,
That's
because
good to
I was
know.
about to say. Also, you should know that Dan, ironically, was only drafted on my fantasy team to be the manager of my team, and he's the only one left.
Mm.
All of my employees have been let go, and so Dan is my only guy left. So please be kind to him if you can.
So here are the rankings. Dan and Savannah got 9.
Out of
Oh, and-
26.
And by the way, dummies, this was out of 26 ingredients, and if you were smart enough, you could have hacked the game and realized it was
A,
in
B, C, D,
alphabetical.
E,
Alphabetical, yeah.
Yeah.
It was? I missed
Yeah.
that. Everyone got that except for me?
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Well, they did
you're-
also say it in the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I was admittedly took a few naps during this one. Carrie kept being like, "You're sleeping."
Wake
No, I'm
up.
not.
Wake
No, I'm
up.
not.
You're at work. Wake up.
Yeah. Do you want to have Carrie be on this episode instead of you? She sounds like she watched it.
If she wants to.
Danny got
You wanna go
13.
ask?
Laura
Mhm.
got 15. And Manny,
Mm.
23 out
Love
of
him.
26.
23 out of 26.
It only made what happened later so much more hurtful. But yeah, he has a real taste for
ingredients.
Taste.
Yeah.
His fiance is very attractive too. So
We'll
I
keep that in.
And now
I wish we could redo that. I
Yeah.
wish we could redo it. I'm a real Manny fan.
So those of us who've been watching the entire
Freaking out
season
here.
are freaking out that Manny can accurately guess 23 out of 26 ingredients, but the guy can't cook with any of them.
2 separate games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
they
2
are.
separate games. He won
That's
$5K for being able to taste.
Yeah.
Also, 5K, and then someone turns around and wins 10K in front of your face.
Yeah, really dunked on you. So then after this, the challenge continues, and the contestants have 30 minutes to cook the dishes using the correctly identified ingredients that they have, along with whatever is in the pantry. They also don't have to just use those ingredients. They can use as many as they want.
To me. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense because it feels like through this whole segment, people were like, "How do I do this? How do I use these ingredients?" And Kristen's like, "You don't. You can use as many as you want.
Yeah.
Don't stress about it."
Yeah.
Dan was having some issues for sure, as was Danny.
What the
And
fuck
then-
Dan did?
Guess who shows up for the eating part of the quickfire?
TNG.
TNG.
straggling behind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What's going on in here?
Food too. Just in time, right?
Smells good in here.
Oh, I guess.
That's the bald guy, right?
Yeah.
T.
Yeah,
T.
T.
I didn't like him, and I didn't like the lady. I was like, "What are your credentials?"
Yeah.
Well, he's head judge and been doing it for
Yes.
20 seasons. And she
Allegedly.
works Food Wide magazine.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of those come
Allegedly.
across on the screen, so I can understand.
No,
why
they need to put it in
Yeah.
their little
Yeah.
chyron
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in their lower third. That's
Because
interesting.
if you are just coming to the show, you're like, who's this grandpa?
Dan continues to struggle. He gives up and it's like, I'm just gonna do breakfast, and then he makes eggs, which he admits have shells in
shells in them.
Mm-hmm. And he keeps making them.
it. He refuses to stop. He's very ashamed of himself. He of course is on the bottom. Tom really burns his ass by saying, "You would never know you knew how to cook by today."
Rough.
By what you served us. And then the other guy, Paul, said there was a smell that came from the dish that didn't make me excited to eat it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe Paul Blart also said that it was a very the tastes were interesting. At which point you knew he was cooked.
Yeah, you didn't stand a chance.
You're done. Other person on the bottom here is Manny, too one-dimensional.
Boo.
Didn't season his salmon.
Yeah.
You gotta
Give him a
season your
chance.
salmon.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
On
Woody
top,
holding back Buzz.
we got Savannah. Her pork chop was
course.
perfectly cooked, and the sauce was good. And then Laura, she had some nice herbal notes, and she had mussels and gooseberries. And then Danny basically made an A1 sauce with a steak with watermelon.
With
in it.
watermelon.
And
Which sounds good.
Tom was like, "You're right up my alley with this. I love it." And Savannah wins. She does it.
Yep.
So she gets an
Wins 10K.
advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And their advantage is 10K. Right into the elimination challenge here. So we'll get into this, but just
Well, hold on. Savannah doesn't
Okay.
get an advantage this episode. It's next episode she will.
Yeah.
That's right.
Laura has her advantage of 30 minutes.
Laura
winning
has
last
her
week.
advantage,
Mm-hmm.
which really came in handy.
Mm-hmm.
So the elimination challenge here. So for their final challenge in Wisconsin, the chefs created dishes that exemplify their time on Top Chef and their culinary growth throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we just want to make sure you can cook if you're going to get in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out some of them can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Allegedly, yes.
Kristen calls this out. Like I think when there's a lack of parameters for certain chefs, a lot of chefs, it feels like on Top Chef, they really get in their head and they can't figure it
Narrow
out.
it down.
Whereas when it's like
She
super
gave them
narrow,
parameters though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
revisit a dish that you didn't feel like you did well on, like stuff that
That
you've
shows
learned
your
here.
growth.
Like
Yeah.
it literally like you've done 11 cooks, 11 elimination challenge
Yeah.
cooks. You've done more quick fires. Pull from that. Instead, Manny goes, I have a dish in my back pocket I want to cook the entire time. I'll do that. the fuck are you doing, my man?
Yeah.
And I think that was the approach from a lot of people was, I'm going to try and
do this
cook
shit.
something really good to get me to the final. And you know what? In the car, Tom and Gail on the way to Paul's restaurant, Gail says, how would you approach this? Tom says, I would cook my best dish. And that would be the end of the story. So it's like,
I hate that. Play the game.
Play the game. You got to play the rules. And then he judged the opposite of that, right?
Yeah. He's like, this is not telling a story. It's like, dude, your dish wouldn't tell a story.
They always work backwards. They do dish and then story. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not fun.
So they do go to a restaurant, Paul's restaurant, eat a nice meal. Yay. Talk about themselves. Boring.
We're only told what their first course is.
Yeah.
They tell us what the first course is, and then no other information about the rest of the meal. Why even bother telling us that?
Mm-hmm.
Your first course
And I
is
didn't
this.
like when all the people came out with the bowls. None of them made eye contact with them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like how it works in the restaurant, but I would be like, in general, this episode could have used a few more thank yous and a few less gimmies. Is something that I really paid attention to.
That's a good note.
Yep.
I also noticed at the very end that Tom said this meal's on me, and he paid with his Wells Fargo debit card. And it was declined multiple times. Yeah. Which is
And then he started looking
embarrassing for
around.
him.
Anybody can grab this one.
This
Venmo
is my advice I'll give to Tom when this sort of thing happens. You go, that's so weird. Let me call my bank. Pretend you're on your phone. Leave. Just walk away.
Yeah, get up, go outside.
I gotta call my bank. Yeah. You just go away.
Yeah. It's not even what I do. If my card declines at a meal or anything, I just go, well, I just get up and run. Knock
I
something
see this
over
an opportunity
and run.
because you get to work with the dish, and then you get to work with the dishwashing staff. And typically speaking, in most restaurants, I feel like those are the nicest people. So it's an opportunity, really, to make some career connections.
That's true. I never looked at it that way.
So the chefs head to Whole Foods and Specialty Mart for the last time to get their ingredients. The only thing really interesting that comes out of this, interesting is a stretch, is the sub story about Dan not finding lemongrass. He's got to use turmeric lemongrass paste.
Oh, no.
Ultimately, this amounts to nothing substantial, really.
Yeah.
He said it smells great when he opens. He's like, oh, this smells great.
It smells great.
Has anyone here ever had a dish that said it had lemongrass in it, and you're like, thank God that was in it? Because if it wasn't, this dish would have been useless.
Thai dishes?
Thai dishes do rely heavily on it.
But
I
are you
love
like,
lemongrass.
But are you like, if this lemongrass wasn't here, I couldn't eat this thing. I couldn't finish this dish.
I'd be aware that it wasn't there if you told me it was supposed to be there.
Because I didn't know what lemongrass was, but you guys clearly have a much bigger palate than I do, so I was a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just didn't at this. I will say I think I sort of played the show a little wrong because I pretty much instantly decided my feelings about all of the contestants at the very beginning, and then I decided I wasn't going to give them any sort of
redemption
way to do it. So anytime I saw Dan, I was just sort of like, "Ugh, this dude it seems fake."
Wait, I thought you said that was Danny. You said Danny was fake.
No, I said Danny. He fucked OCD
He fucked
King.
OCD King.
Oh,
Dan seems fake.
Oh, okay.
Manny, winner, love him, 5K and hot fiance. Laura, crazy eyebrows. Savannah, she a fan not a chef.
Mm-hmm.
What a critique.
Speaking of Savannah,
and I was wrong.
Speaking of Savannah, next day, all the chefs are getting ready for their cook. We see her mirror again, and it's got the conspiracy writing all the words all over it again.
Yeah.
So what happens there?
Is that poor production? They just use an old footage.
Yeah. They didn't think
because
people
Savannah
like us would
is QAnon.
Caught it.
Yeah, you caught it. That's nice.
Well, she also kept doing this a lot too. She was doing this a whole lot. She clearly was like signaling the like.
She kept saying, "Stop this deal," too. Yes.
Yeah.
So, the judges arrive. After nothing really important happens during their prep work, it's all pretty standard. The judges arrive. It's a bunch of previous chefs from other episodes that we've seen before that are coming back. Of course, we remember and love all these people. We don't need to ask any questions about who they are or anything
at all.
about them.
No.
So, go ahead.
Before I heard you say that, my note was too many judges. Who are these yappers? But now that I know that they were former chefs, I guess it makes sense. But there was a bit of yapping in this episode.
Too much.
It's too much yapping. Would you prefer
know what?
just to see them like eating, saying thank you to the staff?
Yeah, it's like shut up and cook the food, sort of, to like change that. Yeah, I want them to be thanking the staff. I would have preferred also if it was like try and fuck up somebody else's dish also too. Like let's get into the real whenever I watch Survivor, that's always what I'm thinking. Like somebody should be coughing on the food right now because that's an easy way to get somebody out. Medical.
Yep. Yes. Why is no one looking for the immunity idol? Like that's going to
or
save
making.
you.
Yeah, or make your own immunity idol, and like in that one season where the guy had the fake immunity idol.
You make a fake dish and say it's supposed to be Manny's dish, and he takes it out. Tom eats it; it's got doo-doo in it, or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm feeling very revitalized this episode. It's been a pleasure watching someone who doesn't really watch, hasn't been keeping up with the season, kind of come in and give their opinion about stuff that we've had to sit through all season, and like very excitedly give it. And it's making me realize why this. You know, we started this season being like, "Are we going to keep doing this?" And this is making me want to keep doing it.
Wow.
So thank you for being here. You're kind of like, not to speak in terms of Andrew. Well, it's not the phrase I was going to use, but I was going to use a phrase that Andrew would understand. You're like a franchise Viagra.
Yep. Yes, I'm fully aware of what he's. Yeah, I'm sort of like The Rock in Fast Five.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep. Go ahead, Reaves.
Well, you put The Rock in anything, he's Viagra. For me.
So
rigid. Final boss? Oof. Turgid. He show up. He tell Cody he gonna fight Roman Reigns. Me, sporting one. Got a lad on.
Guy in front of you is like, dude, what's that? Is your sign hitting me?
Yeah, it's my sign that says "Stop the Steal."
Stop stealing Rock's main event.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
So Manny's snapper dish here. He drops it off, delivers it.
Oh my God.
Paul is like, "Oh, this is delicious."
Hold on. Before you do that, Manny multiple times this episode has been talking about, "Oh, this dish, I can do it with my eyes closed. It's rock solid. I've done it so many times."
He's done it multiple times now.
He said it, and they went back and they found the clip of him saying it again, and they played it. And then I was like, "There's no way this dish turns out well. There's no way they went back to find that clip to play it after he just said it again that this dish turns out well." So when he was having all the trouble in the kitchen, I was like, how are you having trouble with a dish that is supposed to be your signature dish or whatever you've had in your back pocket this whole time?
He said it for the risotto.
How did Michelle go home and you didn't last week?
Well, her plate looked insane. It was tiny.
So small.
Her table.
Yeah,
he didn't cook any of his seafood correctly.
Too much negative space. Tom's fish is raw. He cuts off Paul to say, "My fish is raw." Again, we don't see it, but
allegedly
it is raw. And he's like, "Yeah, potatoes are nice, they're creamy and stuff, but my fish was raw." And you do not cross Tom like that.
This is 2 weeks in a row.
He's a fish guy.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row, Manny can't cook.
I could tell that
seafood.
was the beginning of the end once he said that it wasn't cooked because, yeah, he just seemed sort of like a mean bald person, and I was like, "Oh, it's done for you, Manny." And I feel like the fiance may not stay now since he lost.
I wouldn't if I saw that. That's like watching one of your fiance's a boxer and you're watching them get knocked out. You gotta get a divorce after that.
Have to.
You
can't stick around.
So is it Paul Blart who gets the piece of cooked fish and is like, "This is amazing"? So Manny, had he cooked his fish properly, probably would be in the finals. Because Paul Blart was like, "This was amazing."
I mean, yeah, and how does that go?
You don't have to do it. We can just move on.
I think it's an offensive thing people say. And if something was a something, it'd be my... Yeah, I think it's an offensive thing. You guys know what I'm talking about?
If my grandmother had wheels, then she'd be a car, is what the saying is.
And the state of the auto industry, I don't know if we want to
Yeah.
talk about
Good
it.
All of our
stuff, yeah.
Detroit listeners don't want to hear that, so let's not do that.
The judges are very impressed with Savannah's story in her presentation.
Yep.
Of her potato pave.
Not a fan anymore, huh? She's a full-fledged chef now.
Yep. She's cooking now. She's getting hot right at the right
Literally
time.
cooking now.
Yeah. Again with Dan, I feel like they did something to me this episode, which is good. Where I did think that there's a possibility that Dan might go home over Manny, just because he really ate shit in the quickfire, and he
Yeah.
does eat shit again here in the elimination challenge.
Mhm.
The dish was very muddled. A lot of the problems with these dishes are the story seems to be kind of retrofitted with the dish, and it didn't. They were muddled. It didn't make sense, and the same thing happened with Dan. Maximalism is what they call his dish, which of course he did the smoked wale and potato dumplings and herbs. Judges table, no shock here. On top, Savannah, she wins. They basically just go right out and they're like, Savannah, you won, which they
Yeah.
never really do.
They're trying to get it over with.
They're like, Savannah, you won, you're on top, you're out of here. Laura, great job, I guess, too. Stop stressing, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You get to go on the cruise as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Final two there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bottom is Dan, Danny, and Manny.
Which one of the men
That's
are going?
fun to say.
Mm-hmm. And Tom lets Manny know. He's like, listen, your fish was raw. I was scared as hell.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to get sick. I could have died. I didn't order sushi, and yet that's what you gave me, and it made me very sick.
You also served raw fish to G.
Mm-hmm.
And G
My lady.
almost got S in her tea. Sick in her tea.
And I mean, the thing is, like, bears eat salmon raw all the time.
Exclusively.
So,
yeah.
I guess now all of a sudden, though, we just have different rules for humans, which sort of didn't seem. It seemed like it was gaslighting. And it's kind of gatekeeping, too, to be like, why is this fish cooked? It's like, it's a meal. Why don't you just say thank you? You
Well,
know?
Tom's upset. Tom took it really hard, that whole like internet thing about like if a woman would rather run into a bear or a man in the woods. Tom took that to heart, and he was like, well, I'm a man and I eat cooked fish. I will not be a bear. Like I'm better than a bear.
Yeah.
That's why they want to be with a bear, because those types of opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bear would just eat the food.
Not
Just
embarrass
shut up.
her at the dinner
Yeah.
table and send it back for not being
Exactly.
cooked.
And wouldn't do that dumb thing of like, ooh, patting himself like, where's my wallet? I don't know if I can pay for this. The bear's just like, here, put it on the card.
Or just
And
eat
I
the guy.
recognize it is top 5, but there's no thing where they can't just be like, hey, try in the spirit of fairness, like just cook it again so everybody's on a level
They should do that.
They should.
playing field.
Hey, you all fucked
Especially
up.
if it's like, well, you knew it was, some people got one cooked and some didn't. I don't know. It just really seemed like this whole show is really anti-Manny, which felt like it was sort of
Especially this
gaslighting
episode, right?
and
This
gatekeeping,
episode.
you know. And he was trying his best. And if you try your best, you should just be able to just fail upwards, you know.
And that's the motto for UCB Herald, right?
We have to cut that out.
Manny does get eliminated. When he finds out that he's the one, he does hug Dan and Dan whispers to him, I love you so much.
I love you so much. I love you too.
I love you so much, Dan.
I love you too.
And
Carrie said, were they friends outside of the
Are
show?
we gonna listen to
No,
the
they just
elimination?
met.
Where's the clip?
I'm not gonna play it over Reaves talking. He didn't stop talking.
My goodness, what's happening here?
And here's a clip.
Manny, please pack your knives and go. I love you so much.
that's cool as hell.
Yeah, Manny, great job all season, but it's really hard to get past those 3 dish dishes.
100%, chef. I served raw fish in Top Chef on the top 5. I'm taking ownership of what I did wrong. Thank you so much for.
So
Yeah, I didn't want to hear that. I was anti-Manny.
we do find out at the very end here that for all of their hard work and strong cooking and the growth that they have shown and their success, they get rewarded with a nice cruise.
Other shows have gone to Italy and Paris. I thought maybe they'd say Florida.
Now they get to be on a cruise, the least stressful event ever.
The challenges are going to be don't make everyone shit their pants the entire time they're on this ship.
Because they
Avoid
wake
getting
up
sick.
We need you at the lunch service. Go whip up something in 30 minutes for 600 people.
There's a fat family that needs pina coladas and eggs and bacon. Stat.
Get Dan on it. This feels like a Tom and Gail decision, right?
Well, they were vacationing to Curacao.
Yeah. They're like, let's just roll it all in one. We already have it planned.
Yeah.
You guys be the same place as us. We'll roll out a couple of days and film with you, and then we'll keep going on our cruise.
He was at the travel agency before the quickfire. Like, we gotta hurry up.
Are they married in real life?
Okay. Whoa. Whoa.
Interesting observation.
Interesting observation that you have coming in cold. No.
They're both married in real life to other people.
Yeah, they're happily married to other people.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. All right, let's go through the Fantasy League standings because this is fun. Savannah is the only person left for Bryan, and Bryan has 53 points with Savannah, who I'm taking as my favorite to win. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't think Dan's got it. The only person I got left is Dan. I got 75.5 points, but I think he's not going to make it to the week 14. And then Reaves has Danny and Laura still in the competition, and Reaves has 73 points. So just alone by having two people, you're probably going to pass me next week and be the new leader, unless something tragic happens with the guy who fucks. So
Bryan has Savannah, right?
Yeah.
And Savannah has won the most elimination challenges, right? I do not understand
Here we go.
how you
Here
were
we go.
so far behind.
An elimination challenge win is 3 points. Just making it through the episode is 2 points. The point system is fucked.
No, elimination challenge win is 2 points.
And getting through is 1.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
You might have the person that wins and won the most elimination challenges and come in last place.
By a wide margin.
But she's winning elimination challenges now. She hasn't won the most. Right now, Danny has won 1, 2, 3. I think Danny's won more.
Oh, I thought they said
Danny
the
has
episode
28 points. No, she's won the most quickfires. She's got 3 quickfires in a row. She has not won the most elimination challenges. No.
It's still very funny because she's done very well.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, she's only gotten. Well, she's tied with Danny for 4 then. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that's
Where are they now?
Where are they now? Manny, he has a working site. It's very good.
Nice.
Good.
He talked about it in this episode. He's about to open his restaurant, and he has Jaguar Bolera in North Carolina and Georgia, Atlanta and Riley, and then also Camp Pickle, which at the very beginning of the season I made fun of, but it actually is a restaurant. And
Pickles.
it looks good. So he's got 2 restaurants that just opened, so good for him.
Matt, be on the lookout. We're going to try and see if we can get Manny on an episode.
Oh, nice. And
Matt.
if you could just get his fiance too, we can chat.
I like that.
All right.
Andrew
Matt,
coming out.
what's the insider scoop? Are they going to do Del Close Marathon next year?
Yeah, what's going on?
Everything I've heard is that they have said that they want to, because that question actually does get asked a decent amount. Right now, they said we'd want to get New York back up and running. If I had to guess, probably the earliest there would be any sort of Del Close Marathon would be maybe 2026 or further, because then I think either 2005 or 2006 is when UC Bay LA officially opened, so then they might be able to do like a 20-year thing.
Nice.
But I think also that Del Close Marathon in general, my understanding is sort of like it's a bit of a logistical nightmare, so they may just not be like racing to get it put in, especially since they have the like New York theater that they're trying to get back up, and evidently New York is like the most difficult place in the entire world to open any sort of
real
To
estate.
do
Business.
anything. It's hard to do anything
Yeah.
in New York.
I hope they don't bring back DCM so that I can say I was at the last one.
Oh,
Oh, you went to one in LA, right?
Yeah, it was a very fun time.
That one doesn't count.
Carl was very generous and introduced me to a lot of people.
That one don't count.
It does count.
So,
And we're done.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was still in the mode of Reaves driving the machine.
I
Matt-
relinquished the wheel.
Matt, thank you so much for coming on and being a guest and
Oh,
talking
thank
so
you.
much about Andrew, codename Andrew. Is there anything you want to plug?
yeah, I would say if you are in Los Angeles, definitely come and see me on Herald Night. The name of our team is Local Tycoon. And then the second and fourth Mondays of every month at 10 p.m., we do the Cage Match show that I co-host with two other incredibly funny performers. See that. And then also, it still is being decided, but yeah, I am working on a book right now, and hopefully I'm hopeful within like the next few months, or at least by the end of the summer, I can sort of announce some more solid details about it, but it's kind of still in the like editing phase at the
Nice.
moment.
Nice.
And when I am in LA, I will be trying to see one of your shows. So
Nice. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really love the Franklin's a great stage, and it sort of feels like things are sort of now a little bit back to sort of how they were pre-pandemic. I don't know if it'll ever get back to like as huge as it was, or if we really want, or if people would really want it to get back to that size. But it's a lot of fun.
Nice. All right. Reeves, Bryan, anything? No, this is where you start the music, Bryan, while you're thinking.
maybe I had something to say.
You didn't.
Ding, ding,
You didn't.
ding.
Maybe Reeves did.
Nope.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. Well, this is another one in the books. Thanks again for coming on, Matt.
Thank you.
2 more episodes until this season's in the wraps. We're going to pack our knives and go.
This was fun. This is great, guys. You guys got something here. This is fun.
Nice.